Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Craven County Board of Commissioners regular session for Monday, November 2nd. And Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Sure. Commissioner McCabe?
Here.
Commissioner Mitchell? Here. Commissioner Sampson? Vice Chairman Jones?
Here.
Commissioner Liner?
Here.
Commissioner Booker?
Here.
Chairman Mark?
Here. Do we stand for the pledge and prayer? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good and gracious God, where spiritual darkness reigns, there is discord, intolerance, and hostility. We invoke your Holy Spirit and pray that this sacred light might cast out the darkness from this county, from this country, and from our world. Let the days ahead especially be ones of charity and love for all, mindful of those who are in most need. We make this prayer in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. We have approved the agenda, and we're going to change the agenda as far as commissioner comments. There'll be no commissioner comments tonight. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? So moved.
Chairman, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Also on number 8, table number 8, departmental matters.
Yes. Okay, we're going to table that. So that's, do I have a motion to table? So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. Next is public hearing CARTS 5311 and combined capital grant applications.
Good evening.
Good evening.
At the October 19th Board of Commissioners meeting, a public hearing was set for tonight. The purpose is to receive public comments and request authorization for CARTS to apply for the North Carolina Department of Transportation fiscal year 2021 to 2022 5311 Community Transportation Administrative and Operating Grants, as well as a combined capital grant. The deadline to submit these grants is December 1st. Notice regarding this public hearing was advertised as required. Information has been made available in the CARTS office as well as on the Craven County website.
Do I have a motion to go into public hearing?
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're now in public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, we have no one signed up for public hearing for this subject.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to go out of public hearing?
So move.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're out of public hearing. Public hearing planning CDBG coronavirus program application public hearing.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Jessie Myers with Holland Consulting Planners. I believe you got the agenda item, and I won't elaborate on that or read that word for word. This is the first of 2 required public hearings for the CDBG coronavirus program. The monies go toward 4 different areas of focus: supporting families and communities through telehealth or other public services, protecting the most vulnerable or high-risk populations, assisting small businesses with economic recovery, and addressing testing, tracing, and tracking needs. More specifically, there are some categories that are focused toward public service, public facilities, and economic development. In the public service end, the types of programs that are available are subsistence payments, which would include utility and rent assistance, employment training, testing and diagnosis, equipment, supplies and materials, food distribution, health services, mental health services, broadband and communication support, and then services for special needs. All of this tying into the COVID-19 pandemic. Public facilities type activities can include acquisition, construction, rehabilitation, reconstruction, or installation of public works, facilities, and site or other improvements, rehabilitation of building and improvements. Those would be, like a closed school building or whatnot, turning that into, say, an infectious disease treatment clinic. And broadband and communication support, and that would also include the infrastructure component for public improvements for those. And then an economic development application is a little bit more involved for a CDBG CV program, but we are looking toward either the public service end or the public facilities end for this particular type of funding. This public hearing is just a very generic one. I have talked with the staff, and we think we have some directions to go in for this type of program, maybe considering a combination of those type activities. Any questions?
No. Do I have a motion to go into public hearing?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, we have no one signed up for comments for this grant application.
Make a motion to go out of public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, may I comment just quickly? We've been working closely with Jesse and the Holland Group, along with our planning staff and an interdisciplinary team of county employees. A couple focus areas that Jesse mentioned that we'll be looking at with the grant. And remember, the award maximum amount is $900,000.
Yeah.
Would be broadband connectivity. I mean, there's 3 projects we're working on, which will brief you at the work session. Water bill and utility assistance payments for people who have had job loss or other economic downturn because of COVID. And Jesse, I'm sorry, the third one I'm blanking on. We're looking at some economic development incentives dealing with our businesses here and how they've been impacted by COVID. And we'll put together, as she said, kind of a joint application for that. So just,
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
Next is petition of citizens. We have no one to...
Mr. Chairman, we have no one signed up for petitions of citizens.
All right, so then we won't have to read that. We'll go to number 4, consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of October 19th, 2020 regular session and tax releases and refunds. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McCabe?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell? Yes. Commissioner Booker?
Yes.
Commissioner Liner?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Mark?
Yes. Thank you. Next is Kelly Walker. Department Matters Courts approved submission of the 5311 and combined capital grant applications.
The 5311 Community Transportation Program Grant is a formula-based allocation grant for rural public transportation projects. We would be submitting an administrative and operating budget request. The combined capital application does not specify into which grants capital projects will be placed. NCDOT will review the applications based on individual merit with no preset allocation. The only capital project planned for fiscal year 2022 is the purchase of vehicles. Both rural and urban vehicles have been included in the combined capital application. It needs to be noted that both the 5311 administrative and the combined capital budget forms contain a request for a state match portion. We have been advised that systems need to be prepared to provide the entire local match without the state assistance should a match not be approved in the fiscal year 2022 state budget. Therefore, the amount advertised in the public hearing notice is the amount that will be listed on the local share certification form, which does not include the state match amounts. This is unique to these fiscal year 2022 applications. A copy of the administrative and operating budget request have been provided in your attachment 5.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please. All right, we have a motion, second. Any discussion?
Kelly, what's that match equal to us if the state doesn't come forward?
For the capital budget, that would be $13,000 additional, that the state portion is $13,000. And for the admin budget, the state portion is $15,374. So we've included it in our request, but to make sure that we're covered, if they don't provide it, then we've already certified the entire local match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need a roll call vote on this?
Tom,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Commissioner Liner got half of my question. Okay, I'm looking at the first form, and I see the NCDOT, there's your 15,374, the local 15%. So that if we have to pony up for this, then it would be the 46,000 plus the 15,000 if the DOT match does not come through?
Yes, ma'am, it'd be the $15,374 and the $46,123 for the admin. And for the capital vehicles, it would be 13,000 state and 13,000 us.
Okay, so roughly 60,000 for the first batch and roughly 26,000 for the second.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Nothing else, sir.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Department matters subdivision for approval. Don Baumgartner.
Yes, sir. Good evening. We, the planning board has recommended to the commissioners, as a result of a meeting that they had on October 22nd, to approve a subdivision. The subdivision is a piece of property that we have in the industrial park. It is actually 3 separate lots being divided out of this 16 acres of property. The lot numbers are 19-1, 19-6, 19-7, as shown on a subdivision map that was drawn for the industrial park. The property is located off of Executive Drive. The subdivision was surveyed by Vaughn and Melton. As I mentioned earlier, it contains only 3 lots on approximately 16 acres, and these lots are being proposed to be served by the City of New Bern Water and Sewer. You would need a motion to approve the subdivision in order to move forward, and these lots are going to be used for industrial purposes.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any discussion? Being no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Next is Department Matters Soil and Water Conservation, Hurricane Florence, Dorian Stream Debris Removal Funding. Patrick Baker.
Good evening.
Haven't seen you in a while, Patrick.
Yes, sir. Here I am. All right. Craven County has been notified by the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Division of Soil and Water Conservation that we will be receiving $668,851 to perform stream debris removal services within Craven County. These funds are associated with the recovery funds from Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Dorian and are 100% grant funded. The streams approved for this funding include Swift Creek, Bachelor Creek, Core Creek, Flat Swamp, tributary of Core Creek number 1, 2, and 3, Little Swift Creek, Fisher Swamp, Beaver Dam Swamp, Kit Swamp, Upper Broad Creek, and Mills Branch. In September, staff sent out requests for proposals soliciting contractors and professional firms to perform the removal of stream debris from the aforementioned streams. After review and consideration, staff recommends that the Board of Commissioners award this round of state disaster recovery project funds to the negotiated lowest responsible bidder, J&J Environmental. The rating sheet is shown in attachment 7. Contractors will begin removing debris upon execution of the contracts and are expected to be finished by March 21st, allowing inspection of the creeks of the state and project closeout shortly thereafter.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Discussion. Yes.
Patrick, we've worked with them before, have we not? Have they not worked with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We work with him.
Hey, that's all I can say.
This is, has been a very good program for the county.
Yep.
And I think it's helped very much as far as when we've had hurricanes, that we haven't had more flooding than we normally would have had.
Yes, sir.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Booker,
Yes.
Commissioner Liner,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Mark.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right, yep, thank you.
Next is the Department Matters, the Sheriff Vehicle Lease, Major David McFadden.
I thought you tabled that.
We tabled
We
it.
tabled it?
Yeah.
I forgot about that, okay. Appointments. Adult Care pending as the Adult Care Home Advisory, Community Child Protection Team, Craven Aging Planning Board, Craven Pamlico Regional Library. We have any more on that, Jason?
Well, you and I have just not had a chance to get together and talk, but we do have somebody in mind. So hopefully we can go ahead and attend to that soon.
Okay, thank you. Nursing Home Advisory Committee, Regional Aging Advisory Board, Senior Legislative Tar Heel Alternate, and Voluntary Agricultural District Advisory Board. Current Craven County Planning Board, Carolyn Squires, appointed.
Make a motion to reappoint.
Okay, reappointed by acclamation. Upcoming terms, Craven County Health Board, Jim Davis. I think Jim has agreed to serve. Janelle Butts, I'm not sure.
She's the current chair. She would like to continue if possible,
Okay.
sir.
Craven County Planning Board, Kurt Stegman. And Craven Pamlico Regional Library Board, Judy Bird.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I think yourself and the vice chair and myself need to talk about that since we've reorganized
Okay.
this board. We've got a larger share, I think, that we need to take a look at possibly.
Okay, sounds good. County Attorney's Report.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. I have three items for your consideration this evening. Two are final approvals of tax foreclosure property that the county reacquired and is in the process of selling. The first is out on Adams Creek Road, parcel number 50141005. The tax value on that property was $4,370. The past due taxes and cost of collection were $2,007.41. We had an initial bid of $1,500, which has been through the upset bid process and is now ready for your consideration and final approval.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 The nays? Ayes have it, okay.
The next parcel is located at 257 Streets Ferry Road in Vanceboro, parcel ID number 1-046-059. This is on for final approval. I will note that we had an upset bid in the process, and the upset bid is actually the final bid in the amount of $2,000. The original past due taxes and cost of foreclosure, they were $1,530.53, and the tax value of the property is $12,000. So this is before you for your consideration and final approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it.
Third and final item is an initial offer on 904 Caroline Court in New Bern with a parcel ID number of 2017-1-077. We have an offer of $2,000. The taxes and the cost of foreclosure originally were $2,604.39, and the tax value is $5,080. It is my recommendation that you tentatively approve that offer and that we put it through the upset bid process.
Yeah, that's in a good area in Fairfield Harbor.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
That concludes my report. Thank you.
Next is county manager.
Petition of citizens.
Hmm?
Petition of citizens.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I forgot we didn't have any.
Chairman, we have no one signed up for petition of citizens.
All right, so then we'll bring up the county manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. I have several items for you. However, I would note, Mr. Grady didn't comment, but by selling 904 Caroline Court does relieve the county of a $900 a year POA charge. So remember, everyone we own in Fairfield, we pay
right.
the same fee that everyone else does. So that's even better. I wanted to bring before you, I'm sorry I got everything mixed up here. I had some conversation late last week with the chair of the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council, Mr. Timothy Downs. And he was calling on behalf of the council, and they're in a bit of a pickle right now with their funding. And I'm trying to lay this out for you so we can understand it. They have a grant from the state which funds the Craven County Pamlico Reentry Council. It funds the staff, it funds the operational cost, it funds the programs that are inside that council. That grant expires on November the 14th of this year. State, due to COVID, has delayed the process for the next RFP to come out for the grant for the next 3 years. So there's going to be sort of an artificial gap in between one ending and one beginning. There's also going to be a change of what's called the intermediary agency. This is the organization which has to be a nonprofit or a government that manages the funds. Right now, it's with the East Carolina Council of Government, just here on Middle Street, and that will be changing to Craven Community College. They will be applying for the grant, and we think there's some connectivity there because Mr. Singleton, who oversees this program, is an employee of the college. A lot of the folks that come through the CPRC go to the college for workforce training. I mean, you guys have heard that many times. What they're asking, the biggest concern that they have is their ability to meet payroll for the period of time that are in the gaps. They don't know how long the gap's going to be. I mean, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. I think it's more like 2 months because what Timothy and I kind of troubleshooted together was if they haven't issued the RFP, it has to be on the street for an amount of time, it has to be responded to, rated, and then a contract has to be signed. That's not going to happen before November 14th or, quite frankly, December 14th probably. So I'm here before you today to judge your interest in helping them make payroll, and I'm going to suggest for 2 months. Each payroll is approximately $4,800. So I would think if you're willing to help, amount not to exceed $20,000 paid by each payroll. I mean, we'll pay them actual cost. They'll send us a sheet of what their payroll was. We'll reimburse them for those expenses as a special appropriation. So this would be a one-time special appropriation. And as Timothy noted to me, not this year, but the previous 2 budget years, this board has authorized a special appropriation amount of $5,000 to this group for what they are doing in our community. It's unfortunate Commissioner Sampson's not here tonight. He's a huge supporter of this program, and he's talked about it many times with you. So I think I would be remiss if I didn't state that, as Mr. Sampson would say, this inherently cuts your cost in the jail and in social services and all the other programs that we provide by putting these people who are coming out of prison back to a productive lifestyle so they can support themselves.
Okay.
I can answer any questions you have.
Yes, Denny.
Not that I would vote no, but will they repay what we give them, or is this a gift to them?
This would be a special appropriation, and the reason they can't repay it is one, the grant's running out November 14th, so there is no money past there. And when the new grant kicks in, it can only be for
It'll
expenses
just
moving
start
forward.
and cover whatever.
It's truly a gap. I mean, it's truly something that they can't.
Okay.
But, Jack, isn't it correct that if we do not fund this program for the next 2 to 3 months, that we lose the people, the program? It would have to be reconstituted, say, in January when the funding is received, so we have to start back over as opposed to keeping a very talented and dedicated team that's already there.
Commissioner Mitchell, thank you for that. You're exactly right. And what this payroll consists of is the 2 counselors who have been with the organization for some time now and built a skill set of working with this population, and also the executive director. But yes, ma'am, it would be, quite frankly, I'm not sure how long these folks could hold out if you don't.
Mr. Chair, do you want a motion? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion. You make it.
Wait a minute, we got,
Oh,
You want to make a motion?
I made the motion.
You can wait. No, I got to stand up and say for Mr. Johnny, I mean, Mr. Johnny and Scott Dacey, this was their program. It's taken us 2 full boards to get this program running. And this director who's running this thing has got the state to come forward with more money than they've ever come forward before with any program.
That's correct.
And we haven't paid a dime. I mean, it's to a tune of about $500,000 a year for their functions and running through the last 3 years and everything else. To lose this program, I don't think we are, but to lose this program would be a shame. This is the only program I can see it's really showed benefit and showed progress of moving on. And I lay that at the feet of the director and the people he's got working for him.
okay.
Well said.
All right, we had a motion, second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McCabe? Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bucher?
Yes.
Commissioner Liner?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Okay, so I was emailing with Mr. Singleton today. He would like to come in during this time and brief you on the activities. And also, as I shared with the chairman and vice chair, there's a new program in Vanceboro that he's really excited about that's going to make some headroads into those communities there. Okay, second thing, I wanted to remind you of the rescheduling of the work session, which was supposed to be today. It is now November the 16th. Right, Nan? 8:30 a.m. in this room.
Well, that's the regular meeting.
Say it again, County Manager.
Followed by
I'm
the work
sorry, thank you. That's right. It will, golly, I've tried this all day. November 16th, you'll have your regular meeting at 8:30, and then the work session will immediately follow the meeting. I'm so sorry. I've gotten all the work sessions out of kilter here. And that is still a rather lengthy agenda, so I would plan on, all day.
Mr. Chair, County Manager, can you also look into the Singleton about trying to perform one in Carter County, in Newport?
Oh, yes. You're talking about the reentry council?
Right.
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Singleton. He has he's been having conversation with folks in eastern Craven County and that area, and we'll probably sit down and talk to him. It would be the best
Okay.
thing to see where that's going. Yes, sir.
thank you.
I'll do that. Okay, the second work session, which is still scheduled and has not changed, is December the 14th at 8:30 a.m. in this room. And that's going to deal with the more budgetary-related items that we've been holding off since July. Okay, here's the hard one. December 21st is your regular day commissioner meeting. In the past, we've traditionally, if your commissioner meeting falls on the week of Christmas, canceled that meeting. It's completely your call. But in looking at how this lined up, if you wanted to, we could handle any items that need to be dealt with on December 14th if you'd like to cancel that meeting on the week of Christmas. It's completely the board's call. Staff's ready to do whatever you'd like to do.
Did a motion?
Motion?
Yes. So move.
Do what? Work or not work?
Not work. For the Christmas, couple days for Christmas. Take care. You catch me.
Canceling Christmas?
Beg your pardon?
No Santa?
Say that again? All you ganging me up. You don't know. God, I'm fine. Where's Johnny?
Aaron's made a motion to give all the commissioners off on the 21st.
Well, what we're suggesting, sir, is basically just moving any action
Into
items
the
to the
other,
14th. So you'd still deal with it there.
Okay. Is everybody in favor? Everybody, all say aye.
Aye.
Okay, my last item, and I'll be quiet. Just remind everyone, tomorrow is Election Day. It is a busy day for our election staff. They've already been exceptionally busy, as many of you know. Voter turnout has been very high so far. We look forward to a seamless and pleasant voting experience tomorrow, but keep our election workers in your thoughts tomorrow, and we'll get through it. That's all my comments, unless you have anything for me.
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Sir, this,